In this video, I'm going to cover 10 common YouTube optimization mistakes that you definitely need to avoid if you're trying to grow your channel. They could really be harming your progress, but the good news is they're relatively easy to fix. My name is Sherran, and these are mistakes I made myself when I first started out on YouTube, and they really limited my channel growth and the amount of views that my videos received. I really want to help prevent you from making these same mistakes, so save yourself a lot of time and a lot of frustration and start fixing these mistakes straight away. Number one is valuing optimization over quality. So if you've ever uploaded a video to YouTube and then been hugely disappointed by the number of views it had, what was the first thing that you looked at? For most people, they look at their optimization and they assume perhaps they didn't use the right keywords or maybe they didn't have the right metadata. An important consideration is that optimization on YouTube is really just a multiplier of quality. Now, looking back at some of the first videos I made on YouTube, no amount of optimization is going to suddenly make them perform really well or make them instant viral sensations. Optimization can have a huge impact on the performance of your channel, but only if the quality of your content is good. So focus on content quality first and don't try and rely on optimization alone to get you the results that you want. Number two is writing titles for SEO rather than the user. So for those people with an SEO background, they typically feel very comfortable writing a well-crafted SEO optimized title. And when it comes to YouTube, they will primarily write their titles for the algorithm rather than for the user. The issue with this is if the title isn't interesting to the user, they're far less likely to click on it. Click-through rate can have a huge impact on video performance, far more impact than any SEO benefit that a well-optimized title might provide. So make sure that your titles are user-centric. This means if you're gonna have strategically formatted titles, make sure that the first part of the title is written specifically for the user. Creating interest and getting that all-important click will likely have far more value. Number three is not spending enough time on your thumbnails. A common mistake we see with a lot of new YouTube channels is that they really don't value the importance of thumbnails. Typically, they treat this as a bit of an afterthought and will probably choose like a random frame from their video during the upload process. So we know that click-through rate is a hugely important metric on the YouTube platform, and it can even influence how a video ranks for a specific search term. Let's say that theoretically, your video ranked number one for your chosen keyword. Do you really think that position would be maintained if nobody clicked on that video? To further emphasize the importance of this, big YouTubers will often come up with a concept of their thumbnail before their video. Additionally, they may change their thumbnail multiple times depending on how that video is performing. So make sure you're spending time creating an interesting, eye-catching thumbnail that will encourage viewers to click on your video. It doesn't matter how great your content is if nobody clicks on that video because the thumbnail isn't doing its job. Number four is ruining watch time. The most important metric on the YouTube platform is watch time. It's the single biggest ranking factor, as it's really the best measure YouTube has in understanding the quality of your content, and it's the most difficult to manipulate or gamify. As such, watch time can determine the visibility of your content within the search results and the likelihood of appearing as a recommended video in the suggested video sidebar. Now, structuring your content for maximum watch time really is an art form in itself. So the first thing you want to focus on is avoiding people bouncing straight off your video by making these classic mistakes. So the first is not matching expectations set by your title and your thumbnail. If a viewer feels clickbaited or tricked, they're going to bounce off your video pretty quickly, and this can really tank your average watch time. Next is overly long intros or talking a little bit off topic at the start of your video. Viewers are extremely impatient and they'll either skip ahead or find another video to look at if you're taking too long to deliver your content. Finally, you want to avoid long segments of talking just to camera. Consider the 10-second rule, which involves a scene change every 10 seconds to try and keep viewers engaged. This could be a different angle, could be a quick cut, it could be B-roll, or even supporting graphics. So once you've implemented some of these changes, you can then start analyzing your audience retention graphs in analytics and trying some advanced storytelling techniques to really try and boost your average view duration. Number five is having too many calls to action in your video. So when it comes to a successful call to action on the YouTube platform, an in-video request works best. However, try and make sure that you only ask for one specific action. So a classic mistake is to ask your viewers to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, follow you on Twitter, check out your website. The list goes on and on. Generally speaking, if a viewer is asked to make too many actions, they end up taking no action. So if you ask for anything, the best action to include is actually to encourage the viewer to watch another video. Total session time and the average views per viewer are really important metrics on the YouTube platform, so the more content you can encourage that viewer to watch, the better. Number 6 is researching keywords during the upload process. So ideally, you should perform your keyword research before you make your video. This will give you all the insights you need to make sure that you're making a video about the right topic, and it will help you structure your titles, descriptions, and your tags. A big mistake is doing your keyword research after you've made your video during the upload process and then trying to retrospectively make these keywords fit your content. It can be really frustrating if you're uploading a video to YouTube and then you realize that you should have written or structured your content differently based on the available data. Number 7 is having too broad of a niche. So when I first started out on YouTube, I was there purely for fun and I made videos about anything that I wanted. So sometimes it was about fitness, sometimes it was about cars, I had videos about tattoos. It was completely different every single time. So as a result, the performance of my channel was actually really poor. Getting new subscribers was very difficult because the range of topics was so broad. It didn't give anybody a clear indication of what they'd be subscribing for. And every time I published a new video, not only would I get a low amount of traffic from my notifications, but sometimes I'd actually get people unsubscribing from my channel with every new release. This is because if they had subscribed for, say, my car content, and then I published a video that was something completely different, they're not going to stay subscribed to my channel in the hope that at some point in the future, I produce some more car content again. So the more you can niche down, the easier it is to build an audience, and the more likely it will be that they'll be interested in every new video release. Now, if you consider a popular gaming channel, for example, more often than not, they will focus on one specific title or one specific style of game. So choose a niche and try to stick with it as best you can. Number 8 is overlooking interactive features such as cards and end screens. So interactive features such as cards and end screens can be a great way of increasing views and increasing your average views per viewer. So within your videos, you want to make sure that you're linking to more relevant content that they're likely to be interested in. This works really well for serialized content, so you can link to a series playlist or the next episode within that series. So these features can also improve the data relationship between your videos, which can improve the likelihood that YouTube will recommend your own content in the suggested video sidebar on your watch page. Number 9 is not engaging with your audience. So not engaging with your audience can be a really big missed opportunity. So try to make sure that you respond to every single comment that you receive, and try to encourage more comments by asking questions from your viewers. Now, while engagement metrics may help with the performance of your video, the real benefit of this is about building a loyal and engaged community from your subscriber base. Creating loyal subscribers that watch and comment on every single one of your videos can be extremely valuable. So provide real value to them with your content and try to respond to every engagement that you can. Number 10 is sub for sub. So sub for sub is a term used for when a YouTube channel subscribes to you purely so that you will reciprocate. Now, this can be extremely tempting, especially if you're trying to grow your channel quite quickly. In fact, I've seen channels grow by thousands of subscribers overnight because they found a sub for sub Reddit thread or a sub for sub Facebook group. Now, although this probably sounds great, it can actually have a really negative impact on your channel. The best case scenario is that they simply remain inactive. This means that although they're subscribed, they never watch or engage with your content in any way. Even if they remain inactive, because they're not genuinely interested in your content, this can still have a negative impact on the click-through rate of your videos and of your notifications. This sends a signal to YouTube that your latest content was a bit of a swing and a miss for your audience. It can also prevent genuine subscribers from actually being notified. If they haven't clicked the bell icon when they subscribe to your channel, then YouTube typically only notifies around 10 to 15% of your subscriber base. Now, if your genuine audience aren't within that 10 to 15%, that means they're not going to receive the notifications. The worst case scenario is that they actually watch every single one of your videos, but they watch them for just long enough to leave a comment and let you know that they've watched it, all in the hope that you reciprocate and watch and comment on their latest video. This can be absolutely devastating for your watch time, because if you have 50 people all immediately watching your video for just 15 seconds, this is going to cripple your average view duration. Now, believe it or not, there are actually far more downsides to sub for sub. So please, although it may sound tempting, avoid it at all costs. You'd be so much better focusing on 10 real engaged subscribers than 1,000 sub for sub subscribers. So to summarize, these are the 10 common YouTube mistakes that you need to avoid. As mentioned, they can be relatively easy to fix. So stop limiting the potential views and growth of your channel and start fixing some of these mistakes straight away. My name is Sherran, and if you enjoyed this content, then check out more of our YouTube optimization content on the Semrush YouTube channel here.